future of technology, future of management in terms of managing what we do. Uh, we have a distinguished panel here. I think introductions have been done. Quick thing which I want to start with is in the last 3 to 4 years, when you look at anybody who talks about work, the first and foremost thing which comes to everybody's mind is hybrid working. To are you in office to work? I think most of the companies have made it a policy now. You have to come back to work and physically be at your work. This is only one of the aspects, but I'm bringing that up because we may have different perspectives on how this works. There is, of course, a point of view that you don't have to be at work. You can be anywhere and still get the same productivity and same results. I'll take this topic as a first topic to just ask all our panelists on their opinion. I'll start with Sudhindra. I know Cheryl has a different perspective on it, so I'll go to her last. So Sudhindra, over to you.
Thank you. So just a quick background. If you step back, if you see the future of work from World Economic Forum, the premise was that AI will take up routine tasks and people would take the creative tasks. But with the Gen AI, that's kind of undercut the whole premise of future of work, where it has said, okay, maybe Gen AI can do the creative tasks as well. But there are different data sets and data points. One of them is the current level of creative work done by Gen AI tools are still not at the level, at the repeatable level of people at the moment from the research data points that we have. As we speak, research is coming out with new findings. On the other side, it's also true that the amount of collaboration needed to develop something new is still not undermined. So I'm personally, of course, a supporter of face-to-face discussions, but I think hybrid has put a twist on the whole thing. So it is not completely clear whether you can eliminate face-to-face discussion. I'm being an innovator myself, being in companies and being heading innovation. I personally experienced the drawbacks of not meeting someone face-to-face. So of course it has its plus and minus, but I see more the minus in innovation, maybe more plus in productivity. So my takeaway is, I think you still need people, you still need face-to-face interactions.
Thank you, Sudhindra. Professor Mohammed, I know you handle not only academia but also the entrepreneurship division to train and groom students for getting into a life of work, whether it's their own company or a corporate work. How do you see it, and what do you train the students for? How do you get them ready for a new environment, which is somewhere in between? It's not fully hybrid, it's not fully online, it's not fully offline, somewhere in between. How do you train them?
First of all, I would like to thank Jaya for inviting me for such very promising panel discussions, and thank you for the question. Maybe I have different hats here. I'm a professor and the Dean of the Faculty of Engineering. On the same time, also, I am the Director of Technology Innovation Commercialization Office in the university. I think in the last years, we have transformed totally to be or to have the concept of the entrepreneurial university. I think this is one of the most important things all universities should start to take part in it. In this concept, we have very interesting in preparing our students to be an entrepreneurial mindset. So it's all about mindset, in my opinion. It's how to prepare the mindset of the graduates to be ready for the market opportunities, for the business opportunities, how to make researchers also and faculty staff have to be business oriented. This is one interesting, very interesting thing. We started with establishing new business incubators, and then we have to move to have our own accelerators. Then we build our entrepreneurship center. We started with the university students, and then we have to move to the researchers and even the decision makers of the university. This is very important to support you to make all of these programs and to success in such applying such programs. I think we are on the right way. We have about 4 incubators in nanotechnology, agribusiness, pharmaceutical engineering, and also in the biomedical incubator. So we didn't take, we took the opportunity of each field in the university, each specific specialization. And now we have about 300 startups already graduates from our incubators. We have 40, I think 40 startups now already existed in the market. We have changed the mindset of the entrepreneurs. We have now participating in many worldwide competitions. So the mindset of the student has already changed into be entrepreneurial mindset. We have two different models. You have an entrepreneur or employee or entrepreneur. So we are working now to make our graduates to be even entrepreneur or entrepreneur. Everyone would like to have his own business to create the job opportunity, okay? Not to be suitable for the job opportunity, not to seek the job opportunity, but how to teach him, how to train him through the incubation programs and so on, to create the opportunities, the business opportunities, the job opportunity for himself and for his colleagues also. So I think this is very important also in supporting the technology-based economy and the knowledge-based economy. If the universities have succeeded in applying such concepts, I think win-win-win will be, I think, the government and the academia and also the industry and for sure the NGOs or social impact.
Thank you. Cheryl, over to you. I think there are two facets we are talking here. One is how does the work happen? And second is how do we get a new age of working? That is, how do people look at work? Your take on it.
You know, I'd like to first take us to an understanding of what work is nowadays. And for most of us nowadays, we have dreams and hopes of becoming an entrepreneur because of AI. AI is now allowing us to leverage skills that we've never had before. You want to be an entrepreneur? You can go actually be an entrepreneur today. And so I want to just really challenge everyone to kind of start thinking about what it means really when you talk about, what work is nowadays. I believe there's a massive shift, like you were saying, Doctor. There's a massive shift from working for others into working for yourselves, becoming an entrepreneur. So my question is, when you become an entrepreneur, are you aware of the turmoil and the hardships of entrepreneurship? There is so much sacrifice. You don't spend time with yourself anymore or for yourself. You take away time from your kids and your family. There's so much sacrifice and pain in that. And there's nobody to share it with, really, because, entrepreneurs typically feel lonely. So that's actually what, I've been an entrepreneur for 25 years. And through this experience, what I realize is I want to go build another me. I want this digital twin to allow me to go lay on the beach when I want to and go spend time with my kid. I lost so much time with my kid being an entrepreneur for 25 years. I really feel bad about it. I've seen the difference between time that I've spent with him at home and then when I started a new business and the amount of time that I dedicated and committed to my business, there was a massive shift in his personality and his trajectory in life. And so I built Hero AI in order to relieve people of what we call work. Do we really want to, as a humanity, live another decade or another era in the Industrial Revolution? Is that really what we want? Or do we want to live a new era of the new human revolution? Let's think about that for a minute, right? So my idea is leverage AI, build this digital twin that can be the extension of us. Have it understand the essence of who we are as individuals. Hyper-personalize this AI so that it can then do work for you. It can become your AI co-founder. It can go generate revenue for you, generate income for you, so you can go do what you truly want to do. Go save humanity. Go save the planet. Go lay on the beach. Get your beach body every day for the rest of 365 days a year. That's our dream. Let's go do it.
Yeah, thank you, Sharon. So everybody liked it, and also I think Cheryl, you should also mention that they could with your platform, they could listen their what we are talking in their own language. Maybe if you want to mention a little bit.
Oh, well, thank you very much for the plug. I appreciate that. You can scan the barcode right now. This is, the very first feature of our AI. You have to start from somewhere, right? I'm talking about something so big that it's unimaginable. Let's start from uh, infancy. And the infancy is teaching AI how to communicate with one another. How do we communicate and globalize with the rest of the world? And so on your seats or flyers, you can scan the spotlight stage and you'll be able to hear us in our voices, in our tone and diction, and in the language that you choose.
Yeah, thank you. Uh, Taking on what Cheryl said, Sudhindra, coming to you, uh, we talked about creativity, we talked about Gen AI, now or AI of your digital twin, the way Cheryl put it. How do you see these two? I mean, their creativity is something we thought as human beings we do it, but now we have a supporting tool which can do some amount of it. So, do you see this very positive trend in changing the way we do things, or is it going to be detrimental and saying human beings lose what we become very lazy and we don't do anything more anymore?
Yeah, that's very much possible because creativity is not a radioactive material that will decay over time. It just stays what you have. Maybe you just don't use it like a dormant muscle, and then of course it becomes weak. But to me, most of the technology, including this one, is like what I call a tool. So there is a saying that a fool with a tool is still a fool, because if you don't know how to use the tool, it's not going to be useful to you. Now, the catch here is, when do you use this as a tool? If you see the process of coming up something new till putting up something in a market, it takes a lot of steps in between. There are many rudimentary, routine, manual, labor-intensive steps in this process which can be applied or shortened using this tool. But there are two key aspects. If you go to classical creativity, there is one end of the spectrum is divergent thinking and the other end is convergent thinking. Apparently, everything else in between is these two. Now, both of them does not come from the tool. Why do I say that? Because at this moment, the Gen AI, as we know, is a prompt engineered tool. So prompt comes from somebody, and that somebody can create how good or bad the outcome is. So if you put it very bluntly, prompt engineering based approach can be garbage in, garbage out. Now, in a business and innovation context, it's very super important. Information is not an advantage to anybody today. Everybody can get information just like that. So what is unique to every one of us, depending on where we are, whether it's hyper-personalization that Cheryl talks about, is super important because it's completely globally applicable. The distinct advantage is not information, but contextualization of the information. And now that does not come by a tool, that does not come by just by thinking about it, just comes by a very unique approach called collaboration. Now, there are companies who have gone out and said collaboration is the new leadership, partnership is the new leadership. That means we have to start doing something which we are not used to, which is to collaborate with people. We don't have a course called collaboration skills as of now. So that might be the need of the hour as well, while we are talking about other things. Because in this process, what happens is context creation will be the key aspect of our contribution in this creative process. So that means we will still be the guys who will decide which of these problems that we have in humanity we should focus on, which are we equipped to solve, which is the best way to solve, and which makes sense to solve first. So I think there are a lot of areas. I think there is also a word called unstructured discussions that will still come back to the fore if you want to create context and perspectives which we don't have yet.
Yeah. Thanks, Sudhindra. I think it's super important in terms of collaboration when we bring different people together. I want to move on to Professor to ask, when you look from an academic world, a lot of things happen in research, not just students, there's a lot of research going on. How do you put this in context, what Cheryl is talking and what Sudhindra is talking, in a research context? Your perspectives on how it works in universities and how you see it going forward.
I think this is the most important issues or problem that faces universities, that we have always have a misgap between the industry and the academia, and there is no real cooperation, I think so, between both parties. We started to go to the industry. I think university should start the first step, okay, and should communicate with different industries, especially in the community or in the geographic area, and then we can make it national. Uh, as an example, in our university, we have established technology transfer office. So we are very interesting about how to commercialize the technologies, already the technology outputs from our labs, from our faculties, from research centers, and how to commercialize it to the industry. And vice versa, we go and speak to the industry. You have to speak with the industry partner. You have to listen to their needs. And I think whatever there is a market need and opportunity for growth, I think the cooperation will be very successful. So through our technology transfer office, we started to collect and to make a database for all the technological outputs count in the last 10 years. And then we screened it and we invited the industries partners to just to come to the university and to see whatever they are interested in such technology or not. And then we started from the graduation projects, okay? We don't more, anymore make theoretical aspects or something inside the university, but every graduation projects should be aligned with an industry needs and sponsored by industry partner or industry corporate. Then comes the technology transfer office, which also we have made, first of all, the non-disclosure agreement. This is very important to convince the researchers and the industry to cooperate. And then the IP policy. Without IP policy, I think most of the universities cannot go through the collaboration, the effective collaboration, or make an impact with industry. So we prepared our IP policy in cooperation with WIPO organization, and then we have the golden gate for all the researchers to come and say, okay, I have different technologies, so please help me to commercialize it, okay? And then the industry partners comes also to us, okay? So I think we have a very successful success story in such cooperation. And then we started to even, if we just start to think to establish a university research center, okay? We speak with the industries. So in which industry, in which sector, what is the market needs, okay? What is the problems already you have faced in your industry? So we would like to concentrate on it. And then we start collaboration, we start publication. So most of our publications now, you can find the researchers, the university staff, also with the industrial partner and the sponsorship in such thing. Second thing, I think the business incubators and accelerators plays an important role in how to enforce this collaboration between university and industries. And we have now about 300 startups already graduated from our business incubators. And then we go to the university in such way to accelerate these startups, okay? Accelerate them to go to the market. So with the industries, they can align the products with supply chain of such industry or factors and so on. And also they can find a good opportunity for fundraising and access to investors, especially the angel investors, okay? They would like to help and support all the entrepreneurs. So now we have about 40 startups existed already in the market and already have growth very, very rapidly. And we still cooperate with them. And I think this is a very good opportunity for university to start a real collaboration with industry.
Thank you on that. We discussed a little bit on future of work, how work would be, whether to use a digital twin, whether to collaboratively do it, how to connect with government, industry, and everybody together. I want to move on to the next topic we had, which is more on managing technology. As entrepreneurs, as researchers, we are always looking for what is the next big thing when you want to do it, or what's the next thing which will disrupt or change the way we are. So these technologies, right now, of course, we use the word Gen AI in this conversation. If you go around, some of them will talk about 6G as the future in the communication technologies. Each one is looking at something new which will change the way we are, change the way we do things, and change the way we get money. There has been roadmaps with large corporates. You do technology roadmaps and predict what would come. But most disruptions come from not these roadmaps. Disruptions come from a very different way in terms of creativity, in terms of people getting something and making it work. So there are two different approaches, both work. Large companies are usually with a roadmap. The entrepreneurs are usually with a disruption. Question, I'll start with you and come this way. You're talking about now new things. How do you think any new technology, not what we talked about as Gen AI, going forward, will Gen AI find out a new technology, or will you be finding out what the new disruption would be?
Well, this is a very exciting topic for me. Thank you. Uh, we are, it's really important to think about when you're disrupting, not just who you're impacting, but who you're leaving behind. Because in LLM or AI or any kind of disruptive technology, there's going to be a subset or a large set of people that you're leaving behind. So when thinking about AI right now, for example, are you leaving behind the grandmothers? Are you leaving behind the people who don't, aren't excited about AI? Who are you leaving behind? You got to build it responsibly. And in thinking about that, that's why we are inserting our technology directly into telecoms. So we're talking about delivering to you super AI within your telecoms so that every single one of you will have super AI at your fingertips. Whether it's grandma, whether it's your little kid, you'll just be able to speak to your cell phone, to your laptop. It's omnipresent because it comes through Wi-Fi. If you have a 2G phone, it works. You got a 3G phone, it works. Satellite, Bluetooth, it works for all. And so when you think about who you're leaving behind then it's a very small set, because at the end of the day, what is humanity if all of us can't come along on the ride, right? If certain part of us are accelerating way beyond everybody else, what's going to happen to that 80% that isn't? So in regards to disruptive technology, I really would like to invite entrepreneurs to really think about, when you develop these technologies, develop it responsibly, not just in sustainability, but socially, economically. How is it going to then impact the world 3-4 levels deep? Think deep and broad.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Cheryl. I always, as an entrepreneur, somebody had mentored me that if you're building something new, always make it grandma proof. That is, if you can explain it to your grandma in very simple words what you are doing, either you know what you're doing, or the technology, what you're building, is simple enough for everybody to use. Don't build something which nobody understands. The bottom line here is to ensure that there is a utility for what you're doing, not just do something. But a question when I pass on to Professor, when it comes to research, we don't necessarily look at what we both talked, not making it grandma proof, but you want to do something new. It's an invention. So how do you see going forward with all what's happening around us when we are looking at research, when you're looking at academic world? How do we look for the next big thing? What kind of new things are being done in the research area from an academic world point of view?
Yes, I think as I already said before, that universities should be aligned with the industry, with the market, also with the trendy technologies, because if we just operated on isolated islands, the university with their researchers in the research centers and the industry and the market and the other side, I think we will not succeed in such thing. So starting from the university, I have to say that research centers should be aligned with industry R&D units in the industry. So the collaboration between the R&D units in the industry and also in the research centers in the university, I think should be impactful, and we can gain more and more impact for our technology, how to commercialize the technology, how to also to be aligned with universities worldwide, research centers worldwide, not only in the same country or in the same region. This is also think global, as we say. If we think global in industry, in university, in our research centers, I think this is one of the most important things we should considered in the university. Also, the decision makers of the university. These are very important persons because decision makers also has the power to enforce, to support such things. So they should be involved in any transformation in the university. You have to find the champion in the university who should carry the flag and say, okay, we are trying to apply the entrepreneurial university concept for students, for faculty staff, for also the collaboration between the industry and the university. We have to make some joint research centers. Not only research centers belongs to the university and others belongs to the industry and so on. Joint research centers, joint technology, joint innovation, because also we have to differentiate between invention and innovation. Most of the technologies already, or the output technologies, is still inventions. Okay, without commercialization, it will be still also inventions and will not be globally or industrial treated. So how to transform all of these technology, all of these inventions to be commercialized? So without the real collaboration between industry, between market, how to make the researchers business oriented? This is also one thing. And we have a very success story here. I have just heard from it before the panel discussion. He's a serial entrepreneur. He comes from the research institution, and also he had a mindset, but he transformed it. And at the beginning, he said, as we already heard, wow, you will leave the university, you'll be an entrepreneur, you will start to have your own business, you have inventions, oh, stay in the university, this is your, and so on, and so on. So as I said, it is all about the culture, it's all about the mindset, and we have to focus on how to teach the students, teach the researchers also to be business oriented, to have their own researches where there is a market need and opportunity for growth. Without both of them, I think all the researchers should go in another way and not be with the industry aligned.
Yeah, thank you, Professor. So then there are two questions to you. One is, of course, what we were talking about in terms of future of technology. How do you see it? Because you've been on the corporate side, you've been an entrepreneur. How do you see it? Second is, you also have a role as the next president of IEEE Technology and Engineering Management Society, which is a professional body. How do these bodies play a role in managing technology and helping people to manage this part? I think probably two perspectives.
Yeah. So if you just look at the future skills report of World Economic Forum, I know by heart the first five: critical thinking, analytical thinking, creativity, complex problem solving, not problem solving. And fifth one is a very interesting one called active learning. Now that goes back to what Sheldon and Doctor said. Active learning is essentially saying, how do I know what I don't know? Obviously, you should know first what you don't know. Then you can choose which part of that you want to know, or which, I don't know how to erect an electric pole. I never want to know. So there are a lot of things. Now, why is that important is then you need bodies like IEEE TEMS to come in and help you. Now, if you just connect it to how research, innovation, and business connects, there is a nice definition by Dr. Nicholson from 3M. He says, research converts money into knowledge. Okay, if a few of us work together, we publish a report, we come up with a publication, we know how things work. And innovation converts that knowledge back into money. So if you just put it in an example, there was a concept of a thin wire which will give you light because it gets red hot when electricity passes through it. That's a new knowledge. We cannot give everybody a wire. If you want to have light, please carry this wire with some electricity. So you needed a bulb to come with that. Now what business does to this is to scale that, to make it available to everybody, like you said, socially, economically, viably, to everybody on the planet so that everybody in the humanity can progress. Now, somebody has to do this orchestration. If you want to go back home thinking about it, if you have a long flight this week, think about one thing. What does the role of a conductor in an orchestra? Okay, it still intrigues me. I've been trying to find out different perspectives. There is a lot of context to it, but I still don't know. If you ask me and wake me up and ask me, what does he do? What does a conductor do? No concrete answer yet, but apparently there is a need for that. Now, this society kind of a role is exactly to orchestrate how different people do different things. There is another reason to this is the complex problem solving is not just problem solving. because of the multi-dimensional diffusion of technologies. Every product has every other dimension from an engineering or an education perspective. A normal car has 2,000 moving parts. An electric car has about 20 moving parts and millions of lines of software. So if you have a software engineer, he will say it's software with wheels. If you ask a mechanical engineer, he'll say, oh, it's a mechanical car with software. And both are right. They can argue till death that they are right. The problem here is not which one it is. The problem is how do you work together? So somebody needs to kind of orchestrate this so that this synchronizes very well. Now that doesn't happen because as engineers, I'm guilty of that myself. We have a not invented here syndrome. If it is not done by me, one, it cannot be good. Two, it is not necessary that I should borrow from someone. So this ability to get to speed is critically important that we collaborate. Now that working together, somebody has to orchestrate with who is supposedly trusted, who is supposedly neutral, who has not too much of a self-agenda in it. So I think that's where societies like TEMS can be of importance. But also, like I said, active learning, there is a concept of half-life of learning. Some of you might know it. Today, the half-life of learning means after how long what you learned becomes useless, half of it becomes useless. Today, it's about 2.5 years. So in a 4-year program, when somebody comes out of it, is already half of it is practically useless. So that means somebody needs to refill that fuel, that pipe with the right things. You can always learn something, but what is the right thing to learn? You need somebody to be the beacon and guide. I think there is still a lot of things to do and we should be doing it.
Yeah, thanks, Sudhindra. Given the time, I'm entering the last question we had, or the last topic we wanted to talk. We talked about work, the need for it, kind for it, and all of that. We talked about managing technology, how we look at different perspectives on corporate way of looking at it, entrepreneurial way, and research way of looking at it. Want to take you to another topic. I mean, we are talking about all of this. You need to now, there is a generic word called management. Management could be anything. It could be managing yourself, managing your business, managing technology, managing anything which comes around. With the way we look at the evolving environment, whether it's work, whether it's technology, how you manage things also change. How you manage yourself changes. I think you talked about it. How you manage your business changes. Whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you're a corporate person, things are changing. Some perspectives from you, I'll go this way. I've been asking Cheryl to start. Probably Sudhindra, I start with you this time.
I think at a higher level, what Cheryl said makes a lot of sense nowadays. But I still feel business is for profit. So there is a dichotomy to it, that is profit the only thing? Of course not, but of course there is a purpose coming to it. So when I see management changing, I see from stakeholder management for profits. Every CEO gets into a quarterly call, and basically most of the time of the quarterly call is on how was the money part of business, right? So that's still going to be the case. It's not profit or purpose, it's profit and purpose. The purpose could be what you're trying to do in Africa, could be different in Asia, could be different in Europe compared to what you do in Americas. But the purpose has to be tied with profit. And that management, if you just look at what it means, in the past, not too far ago, strategic plans were 5 years, became 3, became 2, became 1. I hear people looking at strategic plan for 3 months. So that cannot be a strategic plan, because if it is 3 months, it's a long tactical plan, or at best, right? So the concept of management is about managing everything that has to happen to meet the profit and purpose going in sync in the same way. So there's a lot of open areas around that. There is a lot of evolving topics that involves things, what you said about personal management, partnership management, collaboration management, even the way things have changed, how we used to work, because I come from Bangalore in India, and most of the companies I work with, they have less spaces than people. So if they somehow everybody decides to come to office, they'll be sitting on each other's laps because there is no space left anymore in the office. So the whole concept of practically running a physical office has also changed. So management at the level of purpose and profit, to the management of operations, to the management of people. People want to grow. They want to do something what they want, how they want, when they want, and giving that same results as a team will be a complex topic for the future.
Thank you. Professor, your views on this?
Okay, actually, we started to teach the student management by practicing. Okay, this is, I think, one important step before already they got graduated. Okay, so through the graduation projects, through we made also and we organized ideation camps. Also, we started different programs from idea to market, from idea to prototype, from research to market, from research to industry. And through all of these programs, we teach researchers and students, okay, how to manage their own startup. So through all of these steps, he did every step, every milestones. Also, we provide them with mentors, coaches, experts, and so on. So by the end of the program, they were able to manage their own research, manage their own startup, manage their own graduation projects. Okay, so the one-man show management scenarios, I think it is not valid anymore. So the management, it's all about also mindset, adaptability, agility also. So different officers, we call them now officers, not managers, okay? So officers they teach how to cooperate, and no one is the manager and others is not manager and so on. So how to make the personality of all of them, the mindset, how to practice the management, not only teaching the management through curriculums and courses and so on, dealing with other researchers, dealing with other universities, dealing with the industry. I think they got the sense of management. But on the level of the managerial or management decision makers, also they should be engaged through something like that, by also dealing in clustering between different entities. I think so every part of this cluster has his own job, his own milestones, his own work package. So how to work together in a managerial level together. I think this is also the practicing for management. So management, it's all about mindset, behavior, skills, should be learned through courses, yes, but practicing the management, I think one of the best way to make management is impactful for our students, for researchers, and for our decision makers.
Oh, excellent. I think as students, once they get used to the new way of working, I think the new way of management comes in, and I think that's where it's helpful. Cheryl, your views on it, maybe a little quick. I'm just keeping an eye on the time.
Management is something that we also want to revolutionize or transform. You know, today we know of management as managing people, coworkers, you know, people. In the future, when we leverage AI and we have this digital twin of us, and your digital twin is able to go to work for you, generate revenue income for you on your behalf while you go sit on the beach somewhere, then who are you managing? Not another person. You know, our vision is that you'll be managing your digital twin. And our company is actually going to hopefully lead, if we can do this fast enough, our company would like to lead the transformation of what management actually means. And to us, it would mean that you would be managing your digital twin, and our company will be paying our employees a full salary as long as you do a great job of managing your twin. Forget UBI, because nobody can live on $2,000 a month or $1,000 a month. Let's not kid ourselves. What we really want is that full salary still, and still be able to go live on the beach, because why not? So if companies are able to see past the greed of keeping all the profits for themselves and realize that the profits will be there, it will still be there, and just because you're saving money from, you know, having to pay actual people, instead of saving it, give it back. Because if you take it from the people, it's going to come around and take from you. So don't shoot yourself in the foot. Don't kill your own industry or your own business. Give back, distribute the wealth, and then what you get is tenfold back. and allow people to use their digital twin to go prosper. And we can reach that humanity that we've all been dreaming of. It's doable, it's reachable. You got to believe it. And we got to all as a humanity move towards that less selfish, more giving, more spiritual, more loving humanity. We're too divided. We're too divided. And we need to be united. And this is one of those ways.
Thank you, Cheryl. I think we've had a nice conversation. I'm keeping a check on time. Looking at one question to start with, maybe I'll take one more. Any question from the audience? Yes, please. I don't know. Yeah.
Actually, I have two questions
Okay.
for the professors and for the industry. As I work in change management, and I'm actually interested in how are we gonna help and carry people through this change, because as we see, the tech innovators, the AI innovators, they have a level of enthusiasm that most of probably a lot of employees do not share. So what are the practical steps that we can do to carry our people in our organization? The second one is when we talk about universities in particular, this gap I noticed a lot, and in many projects working with universities, is the process is always too slow for the industry. And this is for normal cases. We're not talking even about the disruptive AI where we're seeing the scene changing every second. So what are also the practical steps that universities could take to create a more agile process for the students and for the collaboration with private industry? Thank you.
Okay. Any of you want to take the question, Sudhindra?
I can start. The reason is very simple. Enthusiasm is not the problem. In fact, too much of it is the problem that we have. But the key is here. If you focus on technology versus impact of technology, your success rate will actually go like a hockey stick. Let me give a simple example. Do you know the formula of paracetamol? No? I also don't know. But does it work if you take? Yeah. So if you look at technology and research and application, the outcome, how somebody uses and what benefit it will have is crucial. So most of the times we get enthusiastic about technology, not about the benefits of technology. Actually, it is the other way around. If you have low tech, it is fine. If the impact is high, that's it. And our entrepreneur's mindset is actually exactly that. A cardboard folded to carry pizzas was sold for $1.5 million as a patent fee. So for me, impact will be the guiding beacon.
I think for universities, we applied it through entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship teaches the students everything. Also by screening the curriculum, okay, designing the program, okay. No more traditional courses or traditional programs. This is also one important thing. The third thing, also how to engage the students from level 1 with the industry. Every student now have to spend about 3 months in different factors or industries aligned with his specialization in his department. The researcher also, we have CTO and CEO. We have an entrepreneur, responsible and officer. Also beside the chief teacher officer. So every startup, every project have one from industry, one from the university, and the entrepreneur himself. So we have 3 CEOs for every project, for every graduation project. And this is the most important best practice and practicing about the entrepreneurship, the management, how to be ready for the market, how to prepare himself for the business opportunity, how to teach how the industry works. So he came already here to his lab, and then with his feedback from the industry comes to the lab, and then you know the concept of lean startup, okay? The same concept of lean startup in entrepreneurship or building in startup, we have also teach our students to how to apply the same concept, design thinking. All of these skills already now are engaged through our courses, our programs, and every university now has attracts the talent of the students based on its own designed program, its own new curriculum, which already enforce such new trend or new design thinking and new concepts and so on. Okay?
Thank you, Cheryl. I think we run out of time, so we will leave with the two answers which came up. With this, I would like to conclude. Thanks to all of you for your perspectives. And I'm hoping that next year, it won't be four of us sitting here. Our digital twins will sit here and we will have a debate on what the topic could be on a lighter note. So thanks for all of you. I think we looked at various aspects, work, technology, and management, and from different point of views. And I'm quite sure all of you will have your own views on how things will work. So thanks for all the
Thank you.
panelists.
Thank you.
And we'll see you later.
Thank you.